My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. Well, hello, I'm Willie, forgiveness teacher of the Ozarks, here on lesson 269 in A Course in Miracles workbook for students. We're reading from the original edition here on Tuesday, September the 26th of 2023. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. I ask your blessing on my sight today. This is the prayer. God, I ask your blessing on my sight today. It is the means which you have chosen to become the way to show me my mistakes and look beyond them. I ask your blessing on my sight today. It is the means. God's blessing on your sight, and your sight is the means which you have chosen to become the way to show me my mistakes and look beyond them. It has given me to find a new perception through the guide you gave to me, and through his lessons to surpass perception and return to truth. I ask for the illusion which transcends all those I made. I ask for an illusion. What illusion would that be? You probably know by now if you've been following along. Certainly if you've been following from the beginning. If you jumped in midway, you may not know yet, but it's forgiveness is the illusion that ends all illusions. I ask for the illusion which transcends all those illusions I made. Today I choose to see a world forgiven, in which everyone shows me the face of Christ and teaches me that what I look upon belongs to me, that nothing is except your Holy Son. We're going to look through the eyes of Christ and see the Christ in everyone by arming ourselves with the power of forgiveness. Today our sight is blessed indeed. We share one vision as we look upon the face of him whose self is ours. We are one because of him who is the Son of God, of him who is our own identity. Today our sight is blessed indeed. We share one vision as we look upon the face of him whose self is ours. We're going to look upon the face of him whose self is ours. We are one because of him who is the Son of God, of him who is our own identity. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. See the good, see the loving, see the eternal presence in everyone. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. That's what Namaste is all about. When you say Namaste to someone, that's a common greeting of a lot of New Thought people. I remember when my brother Carl, who's gone on now, first heard it, he said, well, you'd like to know about this. And he told me about Namaste. Namaste. Anyway, that's what my sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. I acknowledge the Christ in you as I see it in you. And I honor the Christ in you as the Christ in you honors the Christ in me. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. Okay, we're ready for a new chapter, chapter 28. Let's take with us that idea we learned yesterday that, and you will understand that miracles reflect the simple statement, I have done this thing, and it is this I would undo. And we learned that we can undo our mistakes by seeing the Christ in everyone, seeing the Christ in ourselves. Practice forgiveness. Okay, the undoing of fear. As you turn into the undoing of fear, chapter 28, what on earth is going on today? Well, let's see, it's from holidays and observances. I don't always say that, but that's where I get a lot of this. Compliance Officer Day. Compliance officers are corporate officers or business officers who report to the CEOs or to the legal team, but they basically are making sure that all their business is in compliance with laws. European Day of Languages, Human Resource Professionals Day, International Day of the Total Elimination of Nuclear Weapons. Wow, wouldn't that be nice? This began in 1959. Wouldn't it be nice if we could just all say, you know what, there's no sense in killing all ourselves. Let's put the weapons away and let's learn to live according to reason and communication and understanding each other. International Day of the Total Elimination of Nuclear Weapons. Johnny Appleseed Day. Johnny Appleseed was born in, let's see, today? In 1774. Died in on March 18th, 1845. His name was John Chapman, and he was from Massachusetts. And yes, he did pass. He'd go to apple cider mills and collect the seeds and then pass those on. Some he sold, some he gave away. He was kind of a barefoot itinerant preacher and was kind of a missionary for the Church of the New Jerusalem. Johnny Appleseed Day. Lumberjack Day. And you know what a woman lumberjack is called? A lumberjill. Mesothelioma Awareness Day, which is basically a cancerous form of the lining of the lungs, heart, stomach, and other organs. National Better Breakfast Day. You know, a lot of us probably don't even eat breakfast. We do that intermittent fasting. You know, I eat my breakfast most of the time, usually about lunchtime. That's when I break my fast from the night. Not always, but generally. National Dumpling Day, National Pancake Day, and I have a really nice way I make pancakes. I just mix a lot of whole oats and whole wheat flour, several different grains together, and then to make them rise, I'll put a little bit of baking soda, and then when I mix in my I use flax as the egg, flax eggs you call them. But anyway, add a little flax to make it stick together. And then when I add instead of using baking powder, when I add my water right at the very end, right before I cook my pancakes, I add some vinegar, and that vinegar makes that baking soda rise and aerates it, makes them fluffier or fluffy. National Voters Registration Day, National Woman Road Warrior Day, and that's to remind business women who are on the road to take care of their health. Record Store Day, Shamu the Whale Day. He was captured. He was an orca whale, and he died in captivity at San Diego Zoo, I think, in 1971. That's the Orcanus orca is the genus and species. Situation Awareness Day, Personal Safety Day, you might think of it as, and World Contraception Day. And then I want to tell you about an apple, and it's since it's Johnny Appleseed Day, we've talked about this before, but I want to talk a little bit more about some apples that I really like. And this is the King David apple. King David, which is a Malus domestica. King David is an heirloom apple that was discovered in 1893, growing on the farm of Ben Frost in Durham, Arkansas. It is thought to be either a cross of Jonathan and Arkansas Black or a cross of Jonathan and Winesap. King David is extremely disease resistant. Fruit is medium size and round in shape. Flesh is pale cream yellow, firm and crunchy, with an incredible flavor. Michael, the founder of Edible Landscaping, says it is the most delicious apple I ever ate. Has been reported to do well to zone 10 with low chill hour conditions, but we suggest zones 4 through 8. Durham, Arkansas, out there east of Fayetteville. So it's an Arkansas or an Ozark original. Okay, and that's your King David, and thank you, Edible Landscaping, for that information. All right, let's go look in our text reading now, and let's keep in our mind today, my sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. The undoing of fear, the introduction. The miracle does nothing. All it does is to undo, and thus it cancels out the interference to what has been done. It does not add, but merely takes away. And what it takes away is long since gone, but being kept in memory appears to have immediate effects. This world was over long ago. This world was over long ago. The thoughts that made it are no longer in the mind that thought of them and loved them for a little while. The miracle but shows the past is gone, and what has truly gone has no effects. Remembering a cause can but produce illusions of its presence, not effects. That last sentence again. Remembering a cause can but produce illusions of its presence, not effects. 2. All the effects of guilt are here no more, for guilt is over. In its passing went its consequences, left without a cause. Why would you cling to it in memory if you did not desire its effects? Remembering is as selective as perception. Remembering is as selective as perception, being its past tense. It is perception of the past as if it were occurring now and still were there to see. Memory, like perception, is a skill made up by you to take the place of what God gave in your creation. And like all the things you made, it can be used to serve another purpose and to be the means for something else. It can be used to heal and not to hurt, if you so wish it be. Paragraph 3. Nothing employed for healing represents an effort to do anything at all. Nothing employed for healing represents an effort to do anything at all. Wow. The do nothing employment. Nothing employed for healing represents an effort to do anything at all. It is a recognition that you have no needs, which mean that something must be done. It is an unselective memory, which is not used to interfere with truth. All things the Holy Spirit can employ for healing have been given him, without the content and the purpose for which they have been made. They are but skills without an application. They must await their use. They have no dedication and no aim. And the next, paragraph 4, starts the next section. We won't finish the next section, but let's read a few paragraphs in it. The present memory, section 2, paragraph 4. The Holy Spirit can indeed make use of memory, for God himself is there. Yet this is not a memory of past events, but only of a present state. You are so long accustomed to believe that memory holds only what is past, that it is hard for you to realize it is a skill that can be remembered now. You are so long accustomed to believe that memory holds only what is past, that it is hard for you to realize it is a skill that can remember now. We want to learn to remember now. The limitations on remembering the world imposes on it are as vast as those you let the world impose on you. There is no link of memory to the past. If you would have it there, then there it is. But only your desire made the link, and only you have held it to a part of time where guilt appears to linger still. Paragraph 5. The Holy Spirit's use of memory is quite apart from time. He does not seek to use it as a means to keep the past, but rather as a way to let it go. The Holy Spirit's use of memory is quite apart from time. He does not seek to use it as a means to keep the past, but rather as a way to let it go. Memory holds the message it receives and does what it is given it to do. It does not write the message nor appoint what it is for. Like to the body, it is purposeless within itself. And if it seems to serve to cherish ancient hate, and if it seems to serve to cherish ancient hate, and offer you the pictures of injustice and hurts which you were saving, this is what you asked its message be, and this is what it is. You know, that reminds me of that saying that a lot of parents teach their children, which I think we're coming into a new era now where we're not going to teach this, but fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Well, that's holding the past so that you remember your brother's past offenses instead of letting it go and using the eyes of Christ to see the holy face of Christ on your brother and sister. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. And so let's look at that again. Like to the body, memory, like to the body, it is purposeless within itself. Memory is purposeless within itself. And if it seems to serve to cherish ancient hate and offer you the pictures of injustices and hurts which you were saving, this is what you asked its message be, and this is what it is. Committed to its vaults, the history of all the body's past is hidden there. All the strange associations made to keep the past alive, the present dead, are stored within it, waiting your command that they be brought to you and lived again. And thus do their effects appear to be increased by time, which took away their cause. Paragraph 6. Yet time is but another phase of what does nothing. Oh, isn't that something? So the body is it's to be neutral, memory's to be neutral, and time is but another phase of what does nothing. It works hand in hand with all the other attributes with which you seek to keep concealed the truth about yourself. Time neither takes away nor can restore, and yet you make strange use of it, as if the past had caused the present, which is but a consequence in which no change can be made possible, because its cause has gone. Yet change must have a cause that will endure, or else it will not last. No change can be made in the present if its cause is past. Only the past is held in memory as you make use of it. And so it is a way to hold the past against the now. Wow. Yeah, we want to stay in the present moment. Remember, in The Lion King, Simba walking along, and he has a stick, and he hits the lion in the head, and the lion said, "What'd you do that for?" And Simba says, or it was Simba? Fuka, the monkey. He says, "What's it matter? It's in the past." Of course, it had just happened. But that's how we want to learn to look at things, so that our sight can go forth to look upon Christ's face, not hold any past, regardless of how close it is to the present. It's still in the past. It's already occurred. Let it go. Remember nothing that you taught yourself, for you were badly taught. Remember nothing that you taught yourself, for you were badly taught. And who would keep a senseless lesson in his mind when he can learn and can preserve a better one? When ancient memories of hate appear, remember that their cause is gone, and so you cannot understand what they are for. Let not the cause that you would give them now be what it was which made them what they were or seemed to be. Be glad that it is gone, for this is what you would be pardoned from. And see instead the new effects of cause accepted now, with consequences here. They will surprise you with their loveliness. The ancient new ideas they bring will be the happy consequences of a cause so ancient that it far exceeds the span of memory which your perception sees. And I think the last paragraph we'll read is paragraph 8. And that'll stop about in the middle of this section, the present memory. So that last sentence we read, the ancient new ideas they bring will be the happy consequences of a cause so ancient that it far exceeds the span of memory which your perception sees. This is the cause the Holy Spirit has remembered for you when you would forget. It is not past because he let it not be unremembered. It is not past because the Holy Spirit let it not be unremembered. It has never changed because there never was a time in which he did not keep it safely in your mind. Its consequences will indeed seem new because you thought that you remembered not their cause. Yet was it never absent from your mind, for it was not your Father's will that he be unremembered by his only Son. So there's a present memory in our mind that's always been there, that we're one with God. Okay, and so as our brothers and sisters, that's why we can say, let my sight go forth to see Christ's face. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. And most of this lesson today is a prayer, and it says, I ask your blessing on my sight today. It is the means by which you have chosen to become the way to show me my mistakes and look beyond them. It is given me to find a new perception through the guide you gave to me, and through his lessons to surpass perception and return to truth. I ask for the illusion which transcends all those I made. Today I choose to see a world forgiven, in which everyone shows me the face of Christ, and everyone shows me the face of Christ through my forgiveness. Today I choose to see a world forgiven, in which everyone shows me the face of Christ, and teaches me that what I look upon belongs to me, that nothing is except your Holy Son. Everybody, everything is your Holy Son, God, is how we're to pray today. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. And the encouragement that he gives for us today, I think of these as Jesus' words to us, and the other is the words that he wants us to say to God. So that's the prayer. But his words to us today, today our sight is blessed indeed. We share one vision as we look upon the face of him whose self is ours. We are one because of him who is the Son of God, of him who is our own identity. Okay. Well, thank you all so much for joining me today out here in the woods. And, on Lumberjack Day or Lumberjill Day. And you know what? Let's be sure to see the Christ in everyone today. Don't hold the past against anyone. And do your hourly remembrance and thanksgiving, and every hour of the day today, tell yourself, my sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. And do the best you can at having a quiet moment in the morning and in the evening, of however long makes your heart sing. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. What is the body? The body is a fence the Son of God imagines he has built to separate parts of himself from other parts. The body is a dream, the body is the means by which God's Son returns to sanity. The Son of God extends his hand to reach his brother and to help him walk along the road with him. Now is the body holy now it serves to heal the mind. Love is your safety, fear does not exist. Identify with love and you are safe. Identify with love and you are home. Identify with love and find yourself. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face.